Time! Welcome back to episode 4. I want to say again, thank you so much for everybody's support.
Thank you.
On all our past videos. We've had, I think, over 220 views on both videos.
300 on the first episode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We just posted the third video last night.
Yeah.
And that's at least 20 views by now.
Yeah. It's 40 actually. Last time I checked.
40, okay.
The views don't matter, but
Views don't
thank
matter,
you for the...
but it's cool anyway.
Yeah, thank you for the support.
It
really validates us. So.
Yeah. So, I just go right into it.
Let's just jump right into this.
Okay. So, let's talk about Minecraft. Cause it's,
Ow, oh God. Jesus, stop!
Is that how you beat your wood?
The attack of trees. Stop. There's a reason I haven't sat next to you this entire series. Oh my God.
You literally sat next to me the last time.
And we're back.
Okay, so Minecraft. Louie, you said you've told me before that you got Minecraft a long time ago, like back in its alpha days.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me about some stories?
Okay, so the biggest thing about Minecraft and alpha was the first night was horrifying on every world because I was like 6 or 7 at the time, and I got the game and I'm like. Okay, I hear a zombie and I'm like, oh my God! Like, I have to run into the cave.
Is that not how it is now?
No, not really, no. I just get really upset now because I'm sure.
No, stop harassing me!
Don't do it. And the game was, actually not all that buggy. It was just, some things didn't make sense. Like, you eat food and it heals you, which is kind of, whatever. But I liked... how simple the game was at the time. All the textures are really garbage, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah, did they have armor or hunger?
Yeah, not hunger. They didn't have hunger yet. That was added, I think, in 1.0, something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the game was still fun. I couldn't play multiplayer yet because we only had one copy for the family. So I'd have to get really.
You use spider?
No, he's doing the sipping the water drink.
Oh.
But yeah, I couldn't play it with my brother or anyone yet because we just had a family copy back when I didn't have
right
a lot of computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now Louie has how many computers?
So I got 4 immediate, 3 laptops.
Just to yourself?
2 Shield T. What?
No, this is to the whole family.
No, 4 towers, 4 laptops.
He has a lot. So
Yeah,
that's basically.
It's like how my family has 7 tablets.
I started playing Minecraft around 2.
Sleep. Never mind.
Oh my God.
Wait, what? No, what?
No.
¿Cuántos esclavos tiene tu familia?
I don't know what that means. But I started playing.
How many slaves does your family have?
I started playing Minecraft around 2012. Around 1.4.7 I think was the update. But
How does he remember that?
I don't know.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's a good old 1.4.7 days.
I actually started playing on Xbox with my friends.
Oh, that's cool.
Same. Well, I started playing Minecraft on the Xbox 360 with my brother. And, they didn't have creative or anything cool like that. So instead, we furnace duplicated diamonds.
Oh, God.
Basically, you would just put diamonds in a furnace, and when you took them out, there would be 2 diamonds. So
It multiplied.
it's a glitch. And then we would basically build things in in survival that looked like you built them in creative, like 1,000 by 1,000 block hotels.
Oh my God.
You guys remember when Minecraft was it was like a tech demo? It was only creative mode in a bedrock box, and you would fly around and build
Build what?
stuff.
Okay.
I remember when I started playing on Xbox 360, me and my friends would all come over and they'd sleep over, and we just build towns in creative.
Wow.
But the towns were all just square buildings and rectangles, and we just enjoyed ourselves doing that so much. And then we decided that looked bad, so we started making triangles.
So
triangle roof.
My brother's friends, they had their own Minecraft server, and my brother graciously allowed me to join, which Yeah, I mean, it was a cool server. And And I built my own town, and everything was connected by redstone. So like every house was powered.
That's cool.
You could like set up powered rails. It was like I set it up to where everything was like you could mod it if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. And there was like a railroad going underground to every house. So you could get off at specific spots.
Right. Like a whole system.
So that's why you keep wanting to build that railroad. In our,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, so we've got a server now.
Yeah. Well, can we come back to that? Like, I wanted to talk about like the original realm. The main, like, well, one of the reasons we're kind of like here today, and like, what kind of, I didn't think the realm really spawned this, but it helped bring it together.
Yeah, it was like a bonding.
Back during the summer, Louie started a Minecraft realm, and he had Alex and I on it initially, and then we brought in Soju and Brady and a couple of other people.
You just forgot James.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, James is elsewhere.
Sorry,
but,
James.
Yeah, but we were all doing the realm for like 3 months, was it?
It was pretty much the whole
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, it was the whole summer. Like, well, not even. We were.
It was
like,
before summer, I thought.
No, yeah, we started at like end of the second semester.
Yeah.
Right. So we basically played
It
that.
was like 400 hours.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We played a lot, and so in the midst of that, we kind of came up with the idea of we would just like banter and just do a lot of crazy stuff on the server.
And
So
it
then
was
that kind
all-
of like spawned the whole idea of us doing this.
It was pretty much all survival mode too. So we did everything in survival mode for the most part until we reached the end of it all.
And then
which
I started building cubes.
Yeah.
There's a giant glass cube in the sky, and you're like, why did I do
I
this?
don't know. There's a Minecraft meme that's like what you do in survival mode, and it's like building things that look like you've done it in creative mode. And then creative mode, everything is just blown up. There's like random structures all over the place.
Pretty much.
Totally defines.
Well, over the summer, me and an unnamed friend from Colorado, he was over for the summer. And
Oh, Simmer.
Do you want me to censor that? Or?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Oh, Simmer. What's his last name?
I'll put it
Al
up, like,
Baghdadi?
above your head. Oh my god.
Okay.
Anyways, we made our own podcast called Brown and Browner. And so...
Just take a guess why you called it that.
And so then, like, when these guys were talking about making a podcast, I was like, it's time to shine. My nose is so clogged right now.
By does.
Like, it's hard for me to talk. Do you have tissues?
No, I can go grab a roll of toilet paper. Oh, there is a tissue box.
Hey, there's also like 4 waters scattered around the room. Huge 1 liter.
Okay, let's pass these down. And we'll be right back. And we're back.
All right.
Where were we?
I think we were
Minecraft.
talking about servers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we had that Minecraft realm. We logged a lot of time into it. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And actually, I saved our survival. Like, once we switched to creative, I saved a copy of the survival world.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, like, a clean, pristine version of our world. This is one that we absolutely annihilate.
Yeah,
Alex is,
and-
like, using commands, and he spawned an entire line, like a 1 by, like, what, 10,000?
Yeah.
Freaking...
Wall. Yeah.
No, well, you did the one wall, and then I took that as, I'm going to make it bigger and better. And I spent, like, about 3 hours out of my day creating this massive wall that really never did anything.
Well, what
Except
I
sit
did
there.
was I made this huge contraption that I had no use for, so I just made it into like an industrialized farm with like a lot of animal abuse. Like all the animals were just packed together. They can stop looking at me like that.
But,
Well, when you say animal abuse.
And then I built a 50 by 50 aquarium in the air, and all the animals died in there.
oh my god.
Remember, every time I would need XP, I would kill Chris's entire farm.
Oh, yeah, so I had a farm.
Oh my god,
like,
every time I would look in the direction of your farm, I would drop 50 frames.
So my farm had basically like it had a lot of different animals in it. I had every color sheep, at least 2, but there was the one chicken pen with at least gotta be like that has to be like a couple hundred.
I think that was you had your chicken
Upwards of
pen
1,000.
and there was my like chicken spawning.
Yeah.
And you guys griefed my house.
More about that later.
So great.
But Louie, whenever Louie would walk by my house and go to like
Look,
look
it's
in the
in the
general direction of my farm, he would just drop like all of his frames.
You can hear me in the chat every time, like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then whenever he wanted XP, he'd just run up to my chicken farm. He's like, "Hey, can I commit chicken genocide real fast?"
We also griefed Louie's house by placing bamboo everywhere.
Louie's house was this giant
unfinished
area in the mountain that like
I finished ringing it in. So what I did was I found that it was a pretty big mountain. It was like an entire range, and I spent about like almost 100 stacks of cobblestone building a really thick wall that connected everything. I know you guys are just gonna stare at me because that's what I did. But I ringed in like every opening between the mountains, so I just had like this big citadel. And
you said you would get it all out.
yeah, well, I didn't get it all out.
All right.
Sucks. And so I was pretty proud of that. Although I didn't actually really have a house in there. It was just kind of an open air. And I just put all my crap against the wall. Yeah, it was a mob spawner. And then we got a raid in my house.
Oh my god, yeah, that was
hilarious.
That was the last time I think I was on that server. I like tried to single-handedly like take down this entire monsoon.
Please,
Also,
help me!
oh
my god, this is
Chris
not okay!
Well, you and me were griefing Louie's base with bamboo. Another raid spawned.
Because Louie had he stole a villager and he brought it into this giant tower in the center of his base. So basically the pillagers in the game will spawn when there's a villager in a general area, so a raid will start. And there was one starting inside Louie's base, and we didn't want to, like, we were, the one goal of the pillagers during the raid is to kill the one villager. And Alex and I are like, if this happens, if they succeed, Louie is going to kill us.
So shut down the server.
Yeah, yeah. So we did everything in our power to stop this raid. We die, and we're like, we gotta get back. And so that was basically what we had to do for the first time. And then the second time a raid spawned, I was trying to do it alone, and that didn't work out.
Well, you remember the very first time we had a raid in our server?
Oh, okay.
Chris and I had never, like, it was like right when the...
You guys had like leather armor.
Yeah, so this is when we started the realm.
Right, it was like right when the Pillager and Villager update came out.
Yeah, so there was this one village, and we made our...
Sorry.
Okay, there was this one village, and we settled our entire bases around that. So my house, which is basically the center of the entire community, I think.
What? No, it
well,
was
like,
on like a far end.
Well, no, like mine was there, but like Alex's mountain
house is like
was
an
over there.
Outlier.
Like,
My
and,
house is an outlier.
Yeah, everybody's house is an outlier.
By your house was the center, you mean your house was the only one there?
Yeah, pretty much. So
no, my house was there.
My house was
well,
underground.
you joined a lot.
Well, yeah. So initially, I built a house right next to the villagers, and so. Right as that started, the Pillager and Villager update came out, and so about 3 days into the Minecraft server, Louie and I are just building my house, and we look in the distance, and then we see this group of people just chilling off over there, and we're like,
whoa,
what's
we've never
that?
seen this before.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, on the top of our screen, raid, and this bar spawns, and we're like, what the is that?
Is there like a single enemy, and then there was like an army of weird colored skin people.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the and Chris and I were like, okay, this must be a health bar. So we tried to kill everyone, and we're like, okay, the more we kill, the more this bar goes down. That must mean after we kill them, it goes away.
Wrong.
That is not correct. We kill them, and then another wave spawned, and then we died.
Yeah,
we killed them, wave spawned, died.
Yeah, the amount of like hope we lost is like, yes, we got everyone, and like that we died like 5 times each, and then we're like, we got it, and then all of a sudden the bar just goes.
Then came the beasts.
Oh god,
yeah.
the freaking, what are those called? They're like ox.
Yeah, I'll edit it in, but
What you doing your stupid brown face?
I tried to laugh, but I had to yawn. So.
And so we were like, what? I don't know what these things are trying to do. Like,
so
we were like, we would die,
Wake up.
and every time we would die, we were like, okay, this must be going away now. And we didn't know that their only goal is to kill every villager in the village. And when all of them died, the thing went away, and we're like, oh, well, we must have done something right. But the entire village was
decimated. Every single villager died, and the pillagers took over.
Armor.
So even at that point, we had to kill the rest of the pillagers, which wasn't fun, and because we were very new to the realm, so we didn't have anything of use like shields or anything like that. So
I think we had shields. We just had leather armor though.
I don't think we had shields. This is like day 3 of the server, so.
So with
Not-
my house, I wanted protection from mobs and illagers.
Stupid house.
I
hated your house.
So I thought the best way to protect myself from everything else is to build a 1 block tall house, which is literally, I think it was a new thing with the most recent update, not now, but back then, last
It's like
summer.
4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, a bit longer than that, but,
Dumbass.
So,
Ow!
Dumbass.
Stop!
Do it. Hit him again. Do
No!
it.
And we're back.
All right, so Alex's house was essentially 1 block tall. Alex's house was 1 block tall.
yeah, it made it very hard to get into for everybody, including me.
But you were safe.
But I was safe. It was also surrounded by trees that I had sprouted forcefully. And so you would just put a trapdoor down and you would squash yourself with the trapdoor so that you were crawling on the floor and...
Stuck porn. Never mind.
Oh my gosh. And everything was... You had to crawl around for everything. So if you wanted to go to bed, you had to crawl there. If you wanted to open a chest, you had to crawl there. If you wanted to get out.
And
you
crawling
had to crawl.
took forever, so
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
basically
wanted
going
to-
like 5 blocks was a perilous
It's basically
journey
slower
across
than
the terrain.
crouching. Yeah.
Didn't you, like, you tried to sleep one time, and you got up and, like, suffocated?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't realize that you stand up after you fall asleep and all that.
Well,
so
yeah, I had to
he
fix
just spawns
that.
into a block and he's like, ah!
Pick up in the design. And also, your nether portal in the end of the game always killed me.
Okay, so this is the last thing we'll talk about, but Alex eventually moved to a mountain and he created this giant wooden statue of a stick figure.
It was a robot made of wooden planks, and it was all in survival mode.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But eventually, he created like blaster cannons for the arms of this guy, so he kind of stood up like this. And yeah, and he created a real cool looking design by creating obsidian. And creating a nether portal, which looked really cool, except for the fact that they work. So whenever Louie and I, or anybody would go into a nether portal, and we'd come back out of the nether, we'd spawn like 100 feet in the air on top of this cannon, and I'm thinking,
And he didn't
how do I
have
get out of this? And you couldn't go back. If you went back, and then you tried to leave again, you would go to the exact same nether portal, and it wouldn't work.
Yeah, but then you'd end up like in the middle of nowhere. I think we built a nether portal in the nether.
It was like
And-
on
yeah.
top of a lava hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's just no way of getting back.
Yeah,
so.
for some reason you didn't think of like maybe putting water at the bottom of the mountain, so you had
There
to.
was water at the bottom of it.
Oh, maybe I'm just
Yeah.
You just jumped.
And
where
we'd
the
have to
water
jump
wasn't.
and pray to, and it was like a really small stream, so we had to pray to God that we landed in it.
Actually, it was a pond.
You're praying to God that you land in.
Actually, it was more of a lake.
Yeah.
In a sense, it was even a creek. You guys
No,
want to talk about
that's-
like water names and stuff?
No.
Bodies of water.
Waterbender?
Body of water. You guys like to body of water.
I got a bit of a cold. That sounded painful.
Is this used?
No, I didn't use it. God. Anyways, so.
And then me, Chris, and Louie.
You just pointed at Louie
I know.
for Chris and me for Louie. A minute.
Me,
I'm confusing myself.
Chris, and Louie went to the end, and we killed the Ender Dragon
Well, that was a
together. And then I went to the end and killed the Ender Dragon by myself, and then found the what is it called?
End city.
The End
And
City.
you killed yourself.
Then I killed myself again.
Oh, your enchanted diamond.
Yeah.
Alex fell off the end of the world, and then you just hear.
No, that
And
was
we're like,
no. What happened was after we all killed the Ender
Right,
Dragon.
after the first one.
The Enderman came in and just swarmed me, and I didn't have a pumpkin head or anything, so
Yeah, we were trying to like build up to the top of one of those spires. Or no, we were building to the portal to go to the end city.
Yeah.
And that was going over the void.
Yeah.
And one of them teleported on the
Oh,
platform.
I was there.
Were you really?
Yeah.
You didn't fight with us.
No, but I was there.
I
when
think you
we
were on the server.
Yeah.
No, we were going through the end together. Remember?
No, that was after we beat.
Oh, to go
Yeah.
find the Elytra.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
way after. That was like a week after we did that.
Remember when we went to the Nether for like 6 hours
Remember when I went to the Nether and lost my diamond armor, then went back and got more diamond armor?
Oh, that sounds
Went to the Nether
familiar.
and lost
Oh,
my diamond
right,
armor?
because it happened to me as well. Yeah, it sucked. I hate the Nether.
No,
Yeah.
before we went into the end, before you guys went into the end, me and you spent like 6 hours in the Nether. I wanted to kill myself. I hate the Nether.
Yeah.
I also lost myself in the end.
I just want to say one thing. I cannot wait for the Nether update.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
so fun.
The thing about the game that's actually kind of cool is its beginning. I mean, like, it has improved. I mean, it made a comeback, and which is legendary.
PewDiePie.
Yeah. Well, PewDiePie helped, but...
I don't want
A
to.
little
He
bit.
has like a terrible viewer to sub ratio.
Well, that...
Oh.
I mean, so does T-Series. Have you seen T-Series?
Well,
Hey,
they
like
make
100
freaking
million
Hindu
subscribers.
music.
Okay, so how do you think the future Nether update will affect the difficulty?
I think, actually, it'll make it a little easier to be in the Nether, because you'll have food
Yeah.
sources.
Mm-hmm.
The big problem in the Nether is if you take too much damage and you're out of food, you're just going to lose your
It
stuff.
seems like it's going to be a second overworld.
It really is. Like, they're adding, like, a forest. I just hope they make it, like, really hard to stay in the
Yeah.
Nether. It really should be, like, almost impossible compared to the
Should be
overworld.
like hell.
Yeah, like, everything should be trying to kill you.
Like the
Right.
hardcore that's not the hardcore mode. Or
Exactly.
whatever.
And they should be adding, like,
They
variants
have,
of pigmen and stuff like that.
They have like the new pigmen now, right?
Yeah,
They have a
they're
couple
called,
different
aren't they just called pigmen or something like that?
I don't know. I'll edit
No,
it
it's something
on the
else.
screen or whatever.
But you need like gold armor to make it so they don't attack you.
Yeah, something like that.
Um,
And there's, like, Pinky, you know, from Doom, Pinky,
yeah.
the pink thing that charges you.
Yeah.
They're adding kind of that sort of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
very
terrifying.
terrifying. Imagine you're just standing on a nether fortress and on
Just
the
get
edge.
plowed by
Yeah.
Didn't that happen? I think I got shot in the Nether one time and I burned all my
no,
shit
I
and
saw
stuff.
there was a skeleton on another fortress, and it jumped off the edge and shot an arrow at me, like trick shot style, and knocked me off the edge into the lava. And I didn't lose all my diamond armor, but it was a lot.
So, what other games have we played before, like, as a group? Like, we mildly got
Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, we didn't cover that at all.
Well, what?
R6, we didn't cover that.
We
No,
can
we
do
don't.
that.
We can do that.
Dude,
Well,
We
we
were-
don't have any funny stories though.
no, we remember. I think you were messing with us.
Oh, the flashlight!
Oh my god!
Chris goes-
Oh, I hate. Okay, Louie is so. I love Louie, but he's a piece of shit. But he's a pain in the ass to play with sometimes because he doesn't care mainly about what's going on.
It's a video game.
Yeah, it's a video game. And then I have a really bad habit of taking everything in video games way too seriously. So we were doing a competitive,
Yeah, you do.
we were just doing
No.
a casual siege
Yeah,
match.
No, we
And
were doing terrorist time.
yeah, we were doing
No, we were
terrorist
doing
time.
like just us.
Well, it was
Oh,
terrorist.
we were playing-
like
Yeah.
the hard mode.
No, we
Terrorist
were
Hunt
playing
Hard
Alex's minigame.
No.
terrorist
Okay, so
hunt.
we were doing terrorist hunt, which the whole objective is
Stupid.
there's like 25 terrorists in the building and you have to kill all of them. But we were playing it on the hardest difficulty.
And
So
with one
yeah.
less man than we were supposed
yeah,
to.
and we were serious about getting it done.
I think
Everyone
us
except
three.
for Louie. So Louie's like, yeah, okay, well, let's be serious, guys. Let's
And
be
I
serious.
was the guy
mocking
that
me.
I would always charge in first.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
We're like, guys, it's clear. Move in.
Then we
Yeah,
just
so
be-
I'd be like, all right, wait at the door, don't go in. Louie runs in the building and then just shoots all the terrorists. Like, it's clear.
I would always play Sledge. I'd break a window. I'm like, guys, going. Yeah,
Yeah, and then we were like holding his sight, and then all of a sudden Louie's like, "Hey guys, watch out, flashbang!" And my screen would just go white.
Whoa, flashbang, guys!
And then I was like, "This isn't funny. You're not taking
No,
this
you
seriously."
thought it was an actual enemy. The first one. But
Okay,
I threw
yeah.
3.
Yeah, Louie threw 3 of them, and I'm like, "Ah, this isn't funny."
I'm fine.
So I got very salty, and I think I left one day too. I'm like, "I'm
You
done.
did leave.
I don't like this.
That
I'm
happens
done
a
playing this
lot.
game. Screw
Yeah.
Louie. I'm out." And I'm still rooming it with you for college, so something went wrong.
That's
there.
not gonna go wrong.
That's not gonna.
No, but I remember, like in the middle of when we were playing that game. That's not funny. I'm really suffering right
I
now.
have stuff in my nose. I'm trying to get it up farther in my nose so I don't have to breathe anymore.
Anyways, we treated it like we were like in the Navy SEALs.
All except for Louie, obviously.
Yeah.
That's when Louie didn't play with us. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just us 3.
Yeah, we got into a mindset of playing it like we're Navy SEAls.
Yeah,
And it
and
worked.
so we'd be like, clear, go in, there's no terrorists in here.
Wanna go out toilet? One up the stairwell.
Yeah, and so we'd play like that, and then Louie would come in and be like,
Yeah, I screwed everything up.
Yeah.
They'd be like, okay, so we need to leave this door shut. who's the guy, like Fuse or whatever, who can blow up big walls or whatever.
Big wall.
So big wall. We're gonna leave this door shut. Fuse, you need to blow the wall. Like, okay, Fuse, go up, and I would just like bang through the door, like boom, boom, boom. Everybody move it now.
No, nothing methodical about it. Just shoot to kill, and that's
nothing
it.
methodical.
Methodical.
Oh my god,
Dude, it's
Ah.
great.
what the f*** do you think was gonna happen?
Ow! My teeth.
My tooth.
My 2 foot.
My teeth.
So we had a lot of fun gaming experiences. We played a lot of games.
I think the funniest was last night when we were playing Dead by Daylight.
Oh my god. Dead by Daylight will make anyone themselves.
It's if you play for long enough though, it's not scary anymore. It's just annoying.
Yeah, Alex was okay. So we were doing a custom game, and Alex was the killer, and Soju and I were repairing the generators.
Yeah, I was playing as.
Well, you have to
Michael.
say what the premise of the game
Oh,
is.
okay.
Alright,
So the premise.
so-
Yeah, you go ahead.
The premise of the game is basically you start. There's one killer who is any range from an original killer who can like set traps or go invisible, or he can teleport, to like horror movie killers. Like there's Michael Myers. There's
The Demogorgon.
yeah, Demogorgon.
That's the one from Stranger Things.
Who is it? The one from Scream.
Ghostface.
Ghostface. Yeah.
Scream face.
Scream.
Ghost head.
But yeah, I was.
Phantom ass.
And then there's. You can play with up to 4 survivors, and the survivor's job is
Pretty sure
basically.
it's 8 survivals.
It's actually 4.
No, it's 4.
Is it 4?
So the
I didn't
survivor's
lose
job
myself.
is to find generators throughout the map, and they have to repair them in order to open a door in the end of the game, and that's when they can escape. So I was playing as Michael Myers because I love Michael Myers. And
Can I just say one thing? That music is terrifying.
yeah.
Yeah. And so, let me say this from my perspective.
All right.
Alex is the killer, and the whole thing about Michael Myers' character.
Wait, did you
is
just play
that,
with the generators too?
Yeah, they.
yeah. So the whole thing about his character that he was playing as usually there's music that starts when the killer's nearby. But for this character,
it's a heartbeat.
Yeah, there's a heartbeat and music starts playing, but that didn't happen.
Whenever you have stock on, you make yourself invisible to animals, and the music just completely goes off. Not to mention, we were all in Discord, but I had them deafened and myself muted, so...
We had no idea what was going on his side of things. And so Soju and I were repairing a generator. We were chill just talking about that. And
I was around the whole time.
yeah. Well, we didn't hear any music or anything like that. And I look at the generator real fast, and then I'm looking back between the door and the generator. And then I look at my phone to answer a Snapchat, and then I look up at the door, and Alex is standing right there. And I'm like, ah! And I get so freaked out. I'm like, run and jump out the window. I'm like, no. And Soju's like, what's going on?
Yeah, because I was looking at Chris. I didn't realize he was behind me. I see Chris run away. I'm like, ah!
on my screen, I just saw them both at the generator, just standing in the doorway, just staring at them, and because that powers up my ability, and it makes me creepy. It makes them yell and scream.
Yeah, you didn't hear us, but we were losing our minds. Soju
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
can
what was happening. He's
imagine.
like, why'd you run away? I don't get it.
I saw one person run away, and I
was
saw
me.
the other person slowly turn around.
Yeah, I was like, what'd you...
Yeah, that was that's terrifying.
Any other fun Dead by Daylight?
Oh, pretty much all the stories
Okay,
play out
yeah.
the same way.
I don't know if I've told you guys about this, but in 8th grade, when Dead by Daylight first came out and I got my PC, I made a YouTube channel with Dead by Daylight videos on it. Did I ever tell you guys about that?
Nope.
No.
All we know is about the Minecraft videos you made in 5th grade when Soju sounded like this.
That was
Instead of
like
Portals.
3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but I
Sorry.
made those
I
videos.
stand corrected.
Soju.
Yeah, those videos were masters of... Those things were masterpieces. There we go.
Masters of Peace.
Are you guys done?
So, what's the in your opinion, what's the best PC game do you think you've played?
Minecraft.
Besides Minecraft. We already talked about that.
Terraria's pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the best.
Do you want to talk about Terraria?
Nothing much to talk about other than the fact that we suck complete wang. We are so bad. Well, it's not that we're bad at the game, it's that we can't kill the wall of flesh. Which is like, so there are like 2 stages to the game in Terraria. The first one is just normal. It's like...
Minecraft?
No, it's not actually.
Well,
That's
not
so
picture
ignorant.
it.
Yeah, but
Oh, it's like League of Legends.
can we get rid of this guy? Like, why is he even here?
Soju?
Yeah.
No!
Disposed.
But in my hand.
And
Okay.
the progression is in Terraria is like you can get armor and weapons and stuff, kind of like Minecraft. But you have to kill bosses. So the first boss, I think, is the Eye of Cthulhu, right?
I thought it was the Slime King.
No, that one happens randomly.
Oh,
Okay. So the Eye of Cthulhu is like an eyeball.
Of Cthulhu.
Yeah, so sort of like of Cthulhu. Like. And so,
what did Chris have to do with that?
and it gets like progressively harder, obviously, just like a game would. So it goes like Eye of Cthulhu, Eater of Worlds, which is a worm that you find in a special biome. Oh, that's only in Corruption though. I need to stop explaining this so in depth.
Yeah.
And there's Skeletron.
Alright, well, there's bosses.
Yeah, and so the hardest boss before the second stage of the game is called the Wall of Flesh. You have to fight him literally in hell, which is... Well, first of all, Alex can't even get to hell because he keeps on killing himself.
Isn't killing yourself how you get to hell, though?
That's how you get to purgatory.
Let's just not talk about Terraria.
Hey Chris, what's your favorite PC game?
It's not a multiplayer game, it's a story game, and it's
Okay,
pretty
fair.
old, so... It's Half-Life 2, and I've played it about... Okay, so I've played
This year we're shaking things up.
Hey!
Sound like the kid from Monsters saying, Kitty!
Okay, Chris.
So, my favorite PC game is Half-Life 2. I don't know what's so fun about the game. You just feel like a badass.
Well, part of the game is that the world is physics-based, so you can literally move anything you want.
Was it the first of its kind like that, or?
Half-Life was.
Yeah, Half-Life, and then Half-Life 2 basically cranked that up to 11.
I think it went Half-Life 1, Ricochet, Half-Life 2, or no, I think that's right. It was Half-Life, Ricochet, Half-Life Blue Shift. That's where you play Barney.
Yeah, right.
Then there was Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
Episode 1 and 2, and then...
Oh, oops, yeah. And then it was...
You
didn't
know,
they have like a...
No, there's nothing out.
I
There's
bought
a
the
VR game.
entire Valve collection one year for the Steam Summer Sale.
Oh my god.
So I have every single Valve game that I've never played
Yeah, I
except
was
for
gonna say, you probably never played them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Half-Life 2 is a really great narrative-based game. I love the narrative. I love the world. It's super cool, and it's...
The zombie place, Ravenhold?
Ravenholm. Wow. If you want to talk about scary scenarios, Ravenholm... definitely the first time you play through it is very nerve-wracking. I've played through it so many times that I know what to expect, but
The only thing that makes me comfortable in that place is the saw. You pick up a saw with a gravity
Oh
gun.
yeah, you pick up a saw with a gravity gun, and then you can fire it at the zombies and completely cut them in half. And sometimes they'll stick to the wall as well. And it just really goes to show how great the video game is with its physics and engineering and all that. So.
Oh, do you guys know the game Boneworks?
No, I've never heard of that.
Do you know Boneworks?
No.
So Boneworks is a VR game, and it's supposed to mimic Half-Life, kind of like Half-Life Alyx will.
Oh,
Right.
is that like the... Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah. It's like a pretty groundbreaking development, sort of. And so the whole world is physics-based, and in VR that's really cool, because everything feels like, it has weight, and you can climb whatever you want, and stuff like that. And it's built for the Valve Index, which is why I want to drop a gram on that. That's all, yeah. So.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Alright.
How about you, Sid?
Best PC game?
Best PC game. Well, let me tell you something. I get really frustrated at games, like, really quickly.
Uh-oh.
So I played some really good games. I played Dark Souls, sadly. I played Sekiro, sadly. Played Sekiro.
Modded Sekiro to make
No,
it
I didn't
easier.
mod it. I ended up not doing that.
Modded to make it easier?
One
Isn't that
game.
what I just said, Chris?
Maybe.
My balls are warm.
I mean, how do you define best? Like best experience or like best mechanics?
Best in your opinion, like experience.
Most fun.
What defines the PC genre for you?
My favorite.
That.
I'm gonna say my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's been GTA 5 on PC. That game is so much fun.
Yeah,
Still not allowed to play that.
yeah, Alex is literally an adult and he can't play GTA 5.
He needs an administrator password for that.
Oh my god.
You can't even turn on your computer.
I got GTA 5 in 4th grade when it came out.
Wow, that is young.
I remember my whole argument for getting an Xbox when I was a kid was...
I got GTA 4 before GTA 5.
Okay,
too.
Chris, continue.
So... the whole argument I made for getting an Xbox One when I was a kid was because GTA 5's on it, which is not the argument you make to your parents for getting an Xbox. And so they're like, okay, tell me a bit about GTA 5. And I tried to sugarcoat it and like talk about how there's nothing bad about it, nothing that isn't like
guns,
sex, drugs, boobs, violence. It's terrible and has pretty much like the rating of the game gets hit for pretty much every single thing you can get hit for. So,
but it's still rated M for mature. It's rated the same as Call of Duty, where there's just blood.
Yeah, but
I mean, Call of Duty's pretty bad too.
I want to play Call of Duty now that I said that.
No, I don't like Call of Duty.
How about the new Modern Warfare? That's apparently pretty good.
I love the new Modern Warfare.
I was thinking of getting it, and then I didn't.
I thought the campaign is really unique in that game. I don't know. I really love playing all the Modern Warfare games since I was
one game that I forgot: Skyrim.
Oh
yes, that's a close second to me.
I wish Bethesda didn't suck freaking animal.
You
They could make like good games now.
Yeah,
Skyrim. I bought Skyrim. First, I bought it twice on Xbox 360. Twice on PC too. Yeah, I only bought it 4 times.
I love Skyrim, and the one thing that sucks about it for me is that my soundtrack doesn't work for the game. No matter what I do, the music will not play in the game.
You know, there's just really cool setting.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, this is not
and you
the
like
setting.
turn up the audio.
And there's one thing that says off. If you turn that on, chances are you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
What's funny about that is I've tried that and about 1.5 million other things, and it still doesn't work.
Did you guys
How
play
many settings are
Fallout?
there?
Did you guys play Fallout 4?
No, I didn't.
I did play Fallout 4.
That's a good game.
Fallout 4 is a good game, I will say, up until you finish it, and then there's
nothing to do.
There's
after
nothing. You walk around and you're like, wow, this is kind of boring.
Yeah, and then after that, all their games are horseshit.
Yeah, Fallout 76 was bad.
You know what was a good game from what I've heard? Outer Worlds, which is made by...
That's Obsidian.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying...
It's apparently like as good, if not better than...
Well, Obsidian used to make the Fallout games before
right,
Bethesda bought them. Yeah.
And they made them, actually well. Not buggy ass messes.
Yeah. There's still some good... There's a lot of good things about the Fallout franchise, except that it's really buggy. So.
Yeah, I don't like how Bethesda's like kind of gone down. I don't think Rockstar has like made a bad game.
No.
They've made a bad PC port with Red Dead 2.
Really?
Yeah, but
is the PC
Apparently
port?
not very good. It crashes all the time. Sometimes it doesn't run. The multiplayer is terrible.
Yeah.
But
Also-
Red Dead at its core is
Yeah, it's
one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah, Rockstar is one of the best.
In
one of the best companies out there.
In 2018, that year for PS4 games, it was
Oh.
so good. I played Spider-Man, God of War, Detroit Become Human,
I heard that was good.
and Red Dead Redemption all in the same year.
That's ridiculous.
It was a great year.
Yeah, PC and Sony is just like, yes.
And, oh yeah, and then Horizon Zero Dawn and
Oh,
Death
yeah,
Stranding
I
are
heard
coming to
Horizon
PC
Zero
now.
Dawn, that's
The
the... like,
PS4 game.
okay, so that's the one where, like, you got, like, robot legs or something?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Death Stranding's also coming to PC.
Sorry?
Death Stranding's also coming to PC.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy? He's like Hiroshima Nagasaki or whatever his name is.
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
So my favorite PC game, I think, was CS:GO, because stop looking at me like that.
Looking at you in a weird way.
All right.
You.
Okay. So
What? Start this over. 1, 2, go.
So my favorite PC game is probably CS:GO, because I never really had a decent PC until 9th grade. because my first PC got electrocuted during a storm, and I had to switch to a laptop, and that thing couldn't run anything for crap.
Yeah, I remember when you started playing
It didn't.
CS:GO. me and my friend would play CS:GO, and Alex joined us eventually, but he wasn't very good. But it all came down to the fact that your laptop was terrible. He would walk into walls. He's like, "It's not working. I don't know what's going on." And we're like, "Jesus Christ, this is terrible." We couldn't play with him, and eventually you got an actual PC, and then you got good at the game.
Yeah, and then I got into buying loot cases, and really led to an addiction. And I think I've probably spent over $100 on that game in loot boxes.
Wow.
Which goes into microtransactions.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. How do you think? Do you think microtransactions are still playing into a lot of games nowadays?
Yeah. They're
More so than ever.
Companies
I feel
capitalize on them pretty much.
It's because they feel like they can charge you $60 for a game and then charge you more.
No, that I feel.
I think that's a terrible. If you're
that's an insult to the buyer. I feel.
okay, but for like games like Fortnite where it's free, that makes sense because
But
the
yeah, they
company
do
has
it well.
to make-
Yeah, it's just all cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, and they use that money to make the game better.
Yeah,
because they don't charge you anything to actually play the game.
You get games like Battlefront 2, which has gotten better. It's great. I love playing it now. But it started out really bad because you pay $60 for the actual game, and then the only way you could really do well at it is you pay for these loot boxes that essentially give you cards that make you better at the game.
Okay,
or
well,
whatever.
I feel like this entire microtransaction thing was popularized because of the sports games genres.
Well, that's just EA.
Yeah, but like
EA pioneered
like FIFA or something like that.
like but like you guys don't play sports games as much.
Oh,
I'm a veteran of the genre, and so I've played pretty much every single sports game because like I think they're interesting, but I never like.
You just touched my penis.
Yeah.
He just kind of let his hand drift off the table and just sat on my. I'm like, uh-oh.
Anyways, but like, so what was I saying? Like all these games, you buy like better players with. I mean, they say that you can do it without purchasing anything, but you basically need to if you want to be good. Yeah. And so I feel like other genres kind of like were like, oh, we can do that to our game, and then we can make more money, and they don't care about the experience of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Call of Duty fell into that hole for a while.
And it's the same thing with movies, really. Like there's something to be said about just because it makes money doesn't mean people like it. And if people's interest drops off because of a specific game, all future revenue is going to be like chopped.
Did you guys hear about the Fallout 76 subscription thing?
No, what's that?
What?
So Fallout 76,
Game.
yeah, because it fell off,
Big doo-doo pile.
they started like a subscription multiplayer thing where you pay per month to play with your friends on like a server.
The whole problem with the first initial release is the multiplayer. Why would they try to capitalize on the multiplayer?
You can like make your own server. I don't have a true grasp on like what it is, but basically you have to buy the game and then you have to pay per and it's like an absurd cost. Mm-hmm. And you get like money for cosmetics. It's really dumb. But yeah, they thought that could revive the game when you need to scrap that game altogether. It was a terrible concept to start
the
off
really
with.
difficult thing for a game is to come back after you've had an unsuccessful launch.
I
The
don't
only
know.
game that's ever properly done that is Battlefront 2. That's because they realized that
Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six wasn't that bad initially.
It was pretty bad.
It was it was the content I feel like that was kind of lacking at first, and then got better. But
I'm going to say something that you guys will not be able to relate to at all.
Okay.
World of Warcraft.
Mhm.
Oh, such a disappointing franchise. Because Vanilla WoW was it was like the clean slate version. It was the first version. You played it a little bit with me.
Classic WoW.
Classic WoW.
Gotcha.
Classic WoW.
Classic WoW?
Classic WoW.
Classic
I know,
WoW.
that was my favorite meme for a while. But,
Dude, now I want to play World of Warcraft right after you said that.
really?
You want to play a lot of
Hell yeah. I was actually going to renew my subscription anyway. Yeah.
We should do that when we go to Indianapolis.
Oh, hell yeah! We should be doing gun... Dude, that'd be so fun! Oh my god!
Yeah!
Dude, the Spanish competition would be so much f***ing fun!
Dude,
oh
no,
my
we
god!
can play CSGO in the Spanish competition
See
too.
it spikes.
I'm like at 4 in the morning like...
What if I brought my Switch this year? Because I didn't bring it
that could
last
be
year.
fun. They don't have TVs in the room, do they?
Yeah, they do. Remember Dalton hooked his up to...
Oh, that's right. He brought his Switch, right? Why am I freaking out so much?
Dude, we can play Cuphead!
Oh my god! We can play Cuphead!
And Mario.
Can we please have sex? Please!
from
Hey,
gaming.
Could you say seg?
Sag.
Seg?
Can we do my favorite segment of the show now?
Oh, are we gonna do
Are we doing
onion or no onion?
Onion or no
Alright. So, okay, Florida Man edition. We're gonna start off with Chris and go this way.
Okay.
Alright. Florida men, one dressed in a bull onesie, attempted to burn a house down with ragu sauce.
And which one's true and which one's not? Onion is true.
Onion is false.
Okay, I'm gonna say no onion.
I'm gonna say no onion.
No onion.
Yeah, that's a no onion.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is too good to be true.
Yeah, we looked up.
Or no, that's.
One of my friends looked up what their birthday was, and that's what came up for Florida Man. So I thought it was hilarious.
Wow.
All right, here's another one. Florida Man. Wait, let's.
Keep going.
Okay, all right. Florida Man scales clock tower. Is later detained by police.
We don't have clock towers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna
say onion.
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 Yeah, that's an onion.
Yeah.
Okay. Florida Man falls through the house while skydiving.
No onion.
I'll say onion.
Onion.
Yeah, that's onion.
Oh,
You dumb! Why are you so dumb?
I just wanted that to be true. That's hilarious.
You. Never mind.
All right. Let's start with Louie this time.
Okay, Louie, you're going first. Stop
Rattles.
blowing his nose.
Louie, I want you to be in here.
Can you bring the tissue box back when you come back?
Come.
Yeah, I just don't think people want to see me clearing my nose.
I disagree.
Come on.
Me want tissue?
Tissue.
All right. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna toss my tissues. Yes. That was tissues. Drinking there from last night. What was
I
that?
thought that was Soju blowing his nose. That sounded like my uncle. Like, you just hear like a train horn in the distance.
That's not a true one.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back, Louie.
Ow!
Okay, starting with Louie. All right. Rattlesnake carrying Florida Man claims to be agent of God.
No onion.
No onion.
No onion.
Yeah, that's a no onion.
Oh,
Man, you guys are on this.
Yeah, we were doing
and
terrible
finally,
last time.
Florida Man finds a World War II grenade, takes it, and drives it to Taco Bell.
Takes the grenade to Taco Bell.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
You're going
You-
first.
you-
I'm going
that?
first?
Yeah, you're going first.
Onion. World War II wasn't
No.
fought in Florida.
Alright, Soju.
No onion.
Chris.
Louie brought up a good point. I'm still gonna say no onion.
Yeah, that was no onion.
Oh.
How the
It
hell?
could be like an
It's
heirloom.
like finding a Japanese landmine in the middle of freaking Connecticut.
It's like finding Hiroshima.
Alright, and that was
Oh
all.
my god!
That was like the second Hiroshima joke we made this episode.
Yeah, I called him Hiroshima Nagasaki.
Hideo Kojima. That's not even close.
Okay, so next one.
And...
That's all.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
Sorry. That
Alright.
includes
Don't you
this
have a list
episode
compiled
of, or
What?
no, not this
Don't
episode.
you have a list compiled?
I do have a list.
You have a.
You
have
want to keep
a
on
list?
going? Do a little more?
Do you want a list?
Yeah, sure, but it's on my phone.
Okay, that's fine. I had my phone out for the past hour.
Bruh!
I'm looking at the topic list.
Bruh!
This is the
Do you wanna
topic
do it or
list.
do you want me to
Bruh!
do it?
It's the topic list.
Well, you can tell if
It
it's...
has topics.
That's true. Alright,
Oh,
yeah.
it is topics.
I saw one of the Lego Star Wars characters on your camera roll.
It's Jar Jar Binks.
Barbar Jinx.
They can't see this. Well, unless you see me then.
I'll edit it.
Alright, anyways. Portland bike theft task force officer has bike stolen. Onion or no onion?
No onion.
Knowing you.
Onion.
No onion.
I
was thinking reverse psychology.
Alright, this is my favorite.
Smart secret from AP Calc AB.
Obese ISIS preacher who endorsed rape, ethnic cleansing, carried to prison in truck.
What? That just happened! That's a no onion! They called him, who's the fat guy from Star Wars?
Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, it was Jabba the Jihad. Or John Giamatti. That's what it was. No, that guy's real. It just happened like 2 days ago.
You mean this guy?
Yeah. They couldn't fit him in a van. They had to put him in a damn truck. And that guy's dangerous? Come on, I could eat him.
That is a no onion.
Yeah, that's annoying. Alright.
Oh my god.
Alright, this next one. Convicted sex offender. I identify as an 8-year-old. Child porn is my constitutional right.
Oh my god.
Onion or no onion?
Where was this?
That is.
I don't know, it doesn't say.
Alabama.
I'm going to say no onion.
No onion.
I'm saying no onion.
No onion.
Oh my
Look
god.
at the god.
Oh, wow.
Let me see. Ew, you gotta send me those so I can edit those in. Jeez.
Alright, next one. Man with constipation dies of cardiac arrest after he pooped with excessive force.
Okay, that sounds like an onion. I've been on the onion. I think that's an
I'm
onion.
just say onion as well.
Onion.
No onion.
Oh,
what Did you guys ever read the one about the Dutch oven?
No.
So, you know what a Dutch oven is?
No.
No.
It's when you fart under sheets. And I read a story where it was a guy and his wife, and he Dutch ovened his wife, but the sheets created like an impenetrable seal, so she got gassed by her husband's fart. Pulled up the sheets, and she was like, she was actually dead. But that was an onion. So.
Oh my god! I was like, are you
That's
kidding
not
me?
possible. Cloth does not insulate like that.
Okay, so
Damn.
Tampax unveils new Find My Tampon app for when one gets really lodged up there.
Onion.
That's an onion.
Onion, 100.
Yeah, it's an onion.
Oh my god. Christ.
Alright, this one, probably the most controversial. Grindr, Tinder sharing user data with third party.
Probably no onion.
No onion.
No onion.
Damn. Well, I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And I was talking about this with them
I just
earlier.
almost found out about Grindr.
Yeah.
I was talking about this one with them earlier. The U.S. Space Force is being mocked for unveiling camouflage uniforms. You mean there's no foliage in space?
That was a joke.
There's no flage in space.
Alright, next segment.
Ow.
Like cramp.
I got a thigh cramp. Oh, this is so bad.
Oh my god.
Let me help you.
No, stop.
So we go to India once every 2 years, and coming back from India, is always a horror story because there's so many connections, and it's like about like a 25 to 32 hour like total flight time. So
To get to India, huh?
and so and so what happened? God. So last time we went, we were coming back, and my mom bought a gift for one of her friends here, and she put it in her purse. And so when we were coming through Newark, and we were going to come to Orlando from Newark, and so in Newark.
This is when you were living in Chicago? Or in Colorado?
No, we were living here. Yeah, this was like 2 years ago, and so in Newark we were going through security because we had to go from the international to a domestic terminal, and so then my mom's purse gets stopped. And the guys over there, like all of the TSA officers come together, and they're like, "We need to check this." And so my dad's like, "I'll take care of this. It's my thing." So they took my dad aside, patted him down, like they basically gave him the whole terrorist rundown because they thought he was like smuggling a bomb.
Oh my god.
And so I was, and so, and like our flight, we had like a really close I think we only had like half an hour by the time we were there for our flight back to Orlando. And so I'm like freaking out because I think this was like close to when band camp started. I'm like, Mr. Egan's gonna rape me if I'm like to band camp. And that's when I like was joining band for the first time. And so then they were like patting him down. I was like, oh my god. And so then they're like, oh, it's just made of like a certain type of clay that we're not accustomed to. And we're like, oh my god. And the time before that when we were coming back, this is when we lived in Colorado. So apparently there were like 3 tornadoes going around the DIA at the time. And so then we were coming from Dubai. And so they're like, okay, so we're going to have to land this plane down in Salt Lake City. And so we were like, okay, then we could. They were like, we'll just take another flight back from Salt Lake City to Denver once the weather's calmed down. And we're like, okay, that works. So we landed in Salt Lake City, and then they're like, we can't refuel the plane to go back to Denver because Salt Lake City is not a big enough airport.
Oh my god.
So we can't take off. And so we're like, what do you mean you can't take off? So at the beginning, the plan was for them to put us on Delta flights and bring us over to Denver. Because it was a huge, Emirates flight. And so it'd be, 2 Delta flights. And so we're like, okay. And they're like, all right, we'll provide you with food and everything. Food was boar's head sandwiches that were, terrible. And they gave us playing cards and blankets. That's all they gave us. And so then they're like, all right, so about the flight thing, that's not happening. So they basically all put us on charter buses, and we had to drive 11 hours from Salt Lake City to Denver.
11 hours.
Wow.
But
at
the end of a 30-hour journey.
Right.
You know what? Speaking of which, let's go to the Keys right now.
Right now.
Yeah,
Right now.
All right, I agree.
All right, okay.
Okay, that's it. Bye, everyone.
Let's end the
We're
recording.
done.
Yep.
All right. And
Just a moment, right before all the